Okay, would you like to call the meeting to order, Chair Etamad?
Here.
Oh, calling the meeting to order at the Heritage and Arts meeting, special meeting, October 30 at, excuse me, 5:30 p.m. Chair Etamad?
Here.
Vice Chair Gupta?
Here.
Commissioner Farron? Here. Commissioner Fong?
Here.
Commissioner Hall, expected to arrive. Commissioner Mujica Beavers, expected to arrive. Commissioner Noguez?
Here.
Thank you. Oral communications.
Any communications from?
I do not see any.
Okay, it is, I guess it's chair report. I think our first show, gallery show.
Before we arrive at that, we have the consent calendar.
Oh, the consent.
For to adopt the minutes of the H&A meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about that one.
H&A meeting of September 26, 2023.
Yes. Yes.
I would just like to point out a typographical error under the consent calendar Portuguese dairy mural historical signage where it says motion. It says to approve the two final diary mural.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Spell check.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is okay. Is there a motion to accept with correction?
I second it.
So that was moved by, I'm sorry, can we? Okay.
By phone. Okay.
Yes. And on to the chair reports.
Yes. Our first show exhibition upstairs, past and present, was very successful. All of them, all the artists were very happy with it. We did make a 3 small pieces sale. So for picking up and taking care of the gallery was not that easy since Paddy was on vacation for a change and will come back. So every couple of days I checked in and turned on the lights and cleared the room a little bit. So it went pretty well. And for the pickup, I was there all day, and then 3 of the commissioners who could help, they kept coming and helping us, but there were some still not picked up. The ones I had a phone number, I called them and they came the next day until I think yesterday or someplace everything is gone except one person's work that we are going to keep in the room.
He's picking it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
He called.
That's good. Mm-hmm. That's good. And then the most important thing was I'm part of the ad hoc with Victoria Fong and with Arjun Gupta. We met with the house manager, and it was a very successful and talk. Now Arjun will be reporting that, and Paddy has already sent what he has gone through it and okayed it for us. And I'm hoping that it will be passed through the commission today so we can actually start acting on it more seriously, which we have done already started. Yes, so that was my chair report, so we can go to the next.
would you like me to read the action items?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Action item number 1, piano in South Knoll Park. Receive update. We have Judith Ward here with the Public Art Selection Panel regarding date requests and policy for cancellation due to inclement weather. Consider approval of final selected date and cancellation policy. So let me get the microphone for you.
Thank you. So, gosh, loud. I've been in contact with Lori Nowak, who is Hunter's manager, and she's given us a couple of dates in May. She said they still don't know about September, so we can't really look at that at this point. The 2 dates she's proposed are either Sunday, May 19th, or Thursday, May 23rd. And both could be around 5 or 5:30. On the Sunday, the 19th, it could be earlier if we prefer an earlier time. But that's the week they're going to be in the Bay Area. So I think right now, I think the initial proposal was for the 23rd. I wasn't sure if a weeknight would be great for us, but her other Bay Area performances in the past have been on weeknights at the Botanical Gardens, for example. Those were, I think it was May 24th and 25th, which I believe were both weeknights. But she thinks she can rearrange to offer us Sunday, the 19th, as an alternative. So I guess the questions that I have about it are, are there any conflicts on those dates? Do we need to consider the use of McKegney Field? I don't know if there's still sports activities going on at that time of year.
I might just interject that probably we'll have to check first of all on the sports schedule, but also historically there have been no events allowed on McKegney Green, so that's why the South Knoll Park, I think, was what
right.
was...
No, it was just more about access and the parking.
So we can certainly ask.
Yeah, so I think we would want to avoid that if possible, just because we've talked about using the parking lot that McKegney uses, and also possibly having some shuttle service. I mean, it may not be a big deal, but it's just something I wanted to run by the parks.
Sure.
In terms of inclement weather, they perform in every type of weather, from 50 degrees or lower up to over 100. I've seen them perform at 104 degrees and in the 50s, and they perform rain or shine. They do most of their concerts in the Pacific Northwest, where it rains a lot. So they're certainly well prepared, and I think it's unlikely at the end of May. I was looking at actual rainfall, predictions and I think it's like a 5% chance that it even rains at the end of May. So I don't think it's a high risk. If it happened, it wouldn't be the end of the world. And I don't think they would necessarily want to cancel, because I think that's part of the experience, is being in nature, and they are able to adapt to it. So, while we wouldn't want that necessarily, I think we have to take our chances. So does anyone have any comments about those dates?
Okay. Yes, please. I'm wondering about the cancellation policy.
I have to ask. I mean, I'm sure we'll need to review some sort of contract with them.
Yes, there will be a contract.
I mean, if we think we know which date we want to focus on, I think we should decide fairly soon so that we lock in the preferred date, because I think she's got other people in the mix and she's trying to juggle those.
I think Sunday the 19th is a good day.
The scientists, because Sundays or weekends are the best for folks who are working during the week.
Yeah, I agree.
So you would
What time she would
audience.
They are
noise.
thinking of what time? 5 o'clock?
I think they typically do them around 5 or 5:30, but I think on a
'Cause
Sunday
it's
we could
better if it's earlier before it sort of gets hot and I mean cold and so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what
Could
time
be
the sun
4
sets. Like,
o'clock.
it's pretty warm,
It's a Sunday, maybe it's earlier. It's not a bad idea.
maybe 4 or something.
Yes,
Okay,
So
thank you.
they were open to
Tuesday?
that. So.
everybody thinks, okay. Thank you so much for going to all this.
So I guess the next step, if we can agree on a date, is to discuss the fundraising part, and if we have any funds available yet to at least kind of confirm it in writing with them.
Yes.
When do they need that $6,000? Say?
I will ask. I think, yeah, I don't know, because I don't know how many, I don't know when the contract's going to be given out. And
So I might be able to just interject that the action item is only concerning the date and the
Sure.
cancellation policy. And to your point, how it works with these things is that they would present a contract, the kind that they usually use. It'll get reviewed by our attorney and updated in any way that the town might want to see it, go back for signing back and forth. And in that point, so if we can get that, if you can decide on a date tonight, then she can request the agreement, then come back at the next meeting and you'll know the cancellation policy, et cetera, and also put fundraising on the action item.
Okay.
And we are planning on having a November meeting, so.
Okay. I will then go back to her and propose the 19th at 4 p.m.
We'll need a motion and a second for that.
I would move to approve Sunday, May 19th of 2024 as the date for the piano concert.
And for the record, there is no public present, so there is no public comment.
And who do we need to contact regarding scheduling conflicts with the parks?
I will check right away with David Ishu,
Okay.
of engineering, because they control the whole calendar for that. And then I'll find out if we can get any kind of exemption to discuss possibly McKegney Green.
It might
Or
be
I guess
nice.
that's what you're asking. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if there's any way we could reserve parking too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on to action item number 2, Marin Open Studios 2024 request for Town Council Chambers exhibition space, May 4-5 of 2024. That is a typo.
Yes, actually, Kay Carlson.
Received proposal for a Marin Open Studios exhibition at the Town Hall for the weekend of May 4-5, 2024. And there is a staff report if you'd like me to read that.
Yes, that would be good.
Okay, staff report, action item number 2, Marin Open Studios 2024 request for Town Council Chambers exhibition space, May 4-5, 2024. Marin Open Studios, MOS, is an annual event which takes place on 2 consecutive weekends throughout Marin County, one weekend for Northern and one for Southern Marin County. Artists hold their personal studios open for drop-in visits or join a group at a central location. Weekends are usually scheduled for early May. In 2019, MOS approached the Heritage and Arts Commission requesting to use the Town Council Chambers as a group exhibition space for the Southern Marin weekend in May of 2020. History shows us that no events took place in the spring of 2020. No events were allowed in Town Hall in 2021 or 2022, and MOS did not ask to exhibit in 2023. Now that Town Hall is fully open, MOS has requested to hold the Southern Marin Group Open Studio in the Town Hall chambers the weekend of May 4-5, 2024, Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. MOS will provide the following: panels for art installation, tables as needed for artists, marketing, all social media and publicity, plus the Marin Magazine distributed tour guide map to 37,000 residents, and a reception. In parentheses, MOS has not requested a reception, however, it may come up to be discussed. MOS is requesting that Heritage and Arts Commission approval of both downstairs and upstairs galleries if possible, which would allow for 12 artists total, or downstairs only, allowing for approximately 8 artists. And media support through the Town of Tiburon Heritage and Arts webpage or any other town-sponsored social media as available. Staff recommends that the commission, number 1, consider approval of MOS request to hold a group open studio in the Town Council chambers the weekend of May 4-5, 2024, Saturday and Sunday, approximately 8 artists. Or consider approval of MOS request to utilize the upstairs gallery space for approximately 4 additional artists for the same weekend. 3, consider approval of a request to prioritize space for local artists in the MOS call for artists. And 4, consider the normal 25% H&A donation requirement for artwork sold at the Town of Tiburon, or approval of waiver of same for separate entity of MOS. So these are separate talking points that you could take one at a time.
Yes.
Is the time okay for use of the town hall? It's going to 6 p.m. and it's on a weekend?
On weekends, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
There are 2, they suggest one of the 2 weekends. One is actually Mother's Day weekend.
They've said this weekend was what I understood. May 4-5. It's already identified.
So they already have, yeah, because I talked with her and I told her that we cannot provide anything. They have to provide everything.
Right, that's their will.
So they were quite agreeable and they're really excited to do this in Tehran, to have open studio so everybody can be gathered around. They're asking 8 artists here.
And 4 upstairs. So you're to decide whether you want to do that.
I told her I'm not sure about upstairs in case we do not have any artists shows there. Yes, that would be okay. So we can use the lobby for them as well. So
they're probably going to want to know in advance because they're signing these artists up. It's unlikely we will have the space if we're giving it to artists at 2-month intervals.
Yeah, then it depends that how we're about the dates of our gallery openings. And
you mean in case there's a gap
during that?
There's a gap, you mean?
Do we have an artist scheduled for upstairs and down?
Not yet.
At all?
We'll be speaking about that tonight.
At all.
Right.
Okay.
We do have some artists already. And I think, as memory serves me, I can go and grab the calendar that May, June may be taken. Or March, May, June. Yeah, it's a May, June slot.
Yes, we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Okay.
Because
I will go check that while you're discussing the other points.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, simply because if we already know, then there's no reason to even discuss using upstairs. All we have before us is the downstairs.
Right.
So I would suggest that we go to another point, which one is considering prioritization for local artists of the exhibition space. I, for one, think it's a good idea.
That did come up the other time we were discussing this too. And it was a discussion with them because they kind of pushed back, as I recall. Is that true? Do you recall that?
I have a question. So if there is an exhibition upstairs, I think we could have the exhibition ongoing upstairs, and then at that point downstairs would be available for them.
Oh, yeah, that's what we just said. Downstairs for sure.
Yeah.
No, upstairs we cannot have.
But they wanted
cannot be-
additional space upstairs.
That's an
But there is
additional.
no,
If we
Because
don't
we
have
will be-
any artists
Could
showing there
we will
already,
be having the
yes.
artists, yeah.
Could we check the schedule?
I'm
before
going to
we-
go check while you discuss that point of prioritization. Okay.
Priority is not a bad idea for local, but I think a lot of local artists would prefer having it at their own home. At least that's where I've been in the past.
No,
Oh,
no. I'm
well.
an artist who shows here and nobody really shows up in my gallery.
Okay.
Not gallery, it's a studio. So it is not very, a lot of local artists,
Yeah,
they have all gone to other places.
Yeah, they went to
I
the
know about
Arts and
3 of
Garden.
them.
Arts and Garden and
And
Tiburon.
3 of them are in ICB building. They have
Yes.
taken their
Mhm.
studios
There are a
there
lot
and
of
they
in
go
ICB.
through the show there for Marine Open Studios. So I think it would be very good for the artists who cannot do that.
Yeah, I think it might be better for local artists here. It's easier for us to come and see
Yeah.
the artwork instead of driving up the hill and finding
Yeah.
parking spaces. But that's certainly worth the consideration.
Yes, I've always had problem with that.
Yeah, no, nobody was
Because
showing
by the
video.
time people went through the ICB building, then it was the end of the day and they were just didn't want to come to the end of Tiburon. So 1 or 2, they're closer to Highway 1. Sometimes they do get people there, but not this part of.
Well, it's a prioritization. So if they don't avail themselves of the priority, then somebody else will come.
They usually go and become a member. They sign up for MOS 2024. And then if they are from Tiburon, then probably MOS will be asking them, this is available, would you like to do it here?
I think priority is fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then let's go to the next point though, which is consider the normal 25% H&A donation requirement for artwork sold at the town of Tiburon or approval of waiver of same. Does anybody
No,
have any argument towards approval of waiver?
no,
Well,
I
it
think
sort of
it's good.
depends
What
on
for?
local. If
Why?
it's all local artists, I would be willing to waive.
I
But if
don't
it's like
think
a
we should
mix, but
do
I don't think we should.
No,
none
I
of-
don't think we, I mean, a lot of people could be called local. Local meaning what? In
Right.
Tiburon or in Marine or what? I think we have to keep it the same,
For the peninsula.
25%.
I agree.
Tiburon and Belvedere
What do
Peninsula.
artists give to MOS if you sell something from your studio and
Yeah.
not from the town hall?
I don't know that. Do you know?
No, when we sign up, we pay what they're asking. They're
And then
always
you just sell
$100.
just a fee.
art
Whatever
fee.
is a fee, registration fee.
But
I
there's
think
no
we should
But
keep
we
the
don't.
25% for sure.
No additional.
Like, yes.
No. But I think what Patty meant, that if there is any sales here, they would like to have 25%.
Yes, I
for the
agree.
town.
Yeah.
I think it's
So-
only fair, yes.
Yeah, I think
That
that's the
is,
policy.
yeah, that is the policy. It will be observed during that
I
time.
think it's only, yeah.
Yeah.
It should be just equal with all.
Nobody wants to show it here because you would have to pay the 25%.
Yes, if you say this,
I know.
So just so we're clear, the way this is worded, it kind of begs the question whether it's 25% for each individual artist or if there's a separate fee also for MOS. MOS doesn't have to pay a fee to show their art here.
Correct.
Okay.
It's
Yes.
per artist.
The artists will be doing.
For artwork.
We come to a consensus that we're going to keep that fee.
Yes, I think so.
Well,
I
of
agree
course,
with
yes. Yes, it will. So,
So, yes,
The calendar.
I do have the answer. Yes, there is an artist in May, June slot upstairs already.
Oh.
Jet Walker moved to that in order to accommodate Marta Wendlinger, who wanted to have September, October. No one booked down here yet.
All right.
maybe we can keep that little window clear for MOS if it
Mhm.
does happen.
It's just the beginning of May. Someone could come in right after anyway and fill the May, June down here. It's just one weekend. So yes. Mhm.
That's great. Okay. very
Also,
good.
I mean, if they had artists that were not hanging the artwork on the walls, but
No.
sculpture,
We cannot do that.
they
No.
could be upstairs.
Usually they don't do
They don't.
sculpture,
Oh,
and they
okay.
have the panels.
Yeah.
They hang on the panels only.
Okay, if they're hanging on the panels, then would that be possible for them to do it upstairs that weekend? Why not? If the other artwork is hanging on the walls.
Well, again,
It's, I mean, it's.
yeah, it
saying.
is still kind of mixing the two together. I don't think that's a good idea. So,
I did come to some
It's a
art
weekend.
show here, and they did lay out tables, and some people did jewelry and
Yeah,
some
small
ceramics
tables,
and
yeah.
small things. But leave well enough alone. They have the panels.
they have the panel. If there is any artist who need a little table, they have to provide it themselves.
And they will be monitoring. There'll be somebody here, so we're not going to
Definitely
be
there will be.
liable.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
I think just as a matter of respect, if that space has already been allocated and promised to Jet, that should be her space and her space alone,
Yes,
even
I
if it's for 2 days.
She'll want to be here probably during the open studio.
And especially since she's been kicked and basically
You moved once already.
Once already. So I don't think we should have panels or anything up there other than her artwork.
I agree, yes.
Agreed.
Probably she will be part of the MOS. We did it once together
That's fine, but I don't
at
think
Open Studio. It
additional panels should.
depends.
Different artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So starting on motion number 1, you could move to just allow 8 artists down here. Is that correct?
Yes.
It looks like.
So would anyone like to make that motion?
I'll move pursuant to the staff recommendation. Item number 1, I move to approve 8 artists to show their art as part of MOS on the weekend of May 4th to 5th, 2024, Saturday, Sunday.
Second.
Okay, then we skip number 2. That has not been approved. And I was not in the room, or was there, I mean, are you ready to make a motion about prioritizing space, number 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Would you like to make it? Anyone?
Well. I move that we approve the request by MOS to prioritize space.
That is not an MOS
Not
request.
that is a request to prioritize space for local artists in the MOS call for artists.
I'll second.
And the donation.
We don't need to vote on any of this.
I think we're going to vote
Okay,
all
all of them
Yeah.
together. Okay.
Mhm.
I move that we do not deviate from our policy of 25% of the sales of artwork for the HNA.
I second it.
Okay, we'll take a roll call vote for the motions under staff recommendation. Let me just take it in order here. Chair Eppermont,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gupta,
Yes.
Commissioner Fong.
Jennifer.
You
May I
forgot
have that
Farron.
backwards? Commissioner Farron,
Yes.
Commissioner Fong,
Yes.
Commissioner Mujica Beavers.
Yes.
Commissioner Noguez,
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Commissioner Hall. You know, my list
Present.
right in front of me for my alphabetical. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so we move to action item number 4, Public Art Fund request to the Town Council. Received first draft. It isn't actually a first draft. I would say it's a discussion point of a request to the town to allocate an annual amount of money from the general fund reserves to the H&A Public Art Fund. There is a staff report, which I will read.
May I come in? We didn't really do the number 3, the artist exhibition calendar.
Oh, yes, we didn't do
Because
that.
I
Yeah.
need to talk.
Oh, I'm
tell you-
sorry. I beg your pardon. I just jumped. I was thinking it was I read that as the
Yes.
Marin Open Studios.
Yes.
So let me repeat my mistake. Action item number 3. Artist exhibition calendar 2023-24. Received report, the ad hoc committee from the ad hoc committee appointed to handle artist outreach for 2024. Consider approval of proposed artist outreach program and or any artist being presented at this time.
Okay. May I say something? For the month of November, the gallery has no artists. So I was thinking about inviting an artist, and if they want to do a Christmas bazaar upstairs for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then I was talking to Vicky and to Nora, and then I asked for a name because Jeannie Doyle could not make it because I asked her. But Annalise, I called her and she was very excited.
Right.
So she invited me to go and take a look at her work. And her work are small baskets. I have I borrowed a photograph you can all see, and they are absolutely gorgeous. They are very beautiful pieces, and she has space which you can hang on the wall with all these holes, and then she will be putting these little baskets into the hall, into those little. This is amazing. She has 4 of these. So the 4 walls, and she has some
That's a good idea.
mixed media collages on in a frame.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So we
Like that.
could use the frameworks in the landing and on the wall as well. And she has, each of these have their own photographs, just the empty photographs. But I said, well, how much do you want to sell those? Anybody can buy it and put it in a frame for themselves. And so that is another thing. I told her that her work is really well worth to show in the gallery for at least two months. She said, oh, no, it doesn't matter. I like to see how it goes. So I'm prepared to do it for a month now, say mid-November to mid-December. And then if it goes well, then you can give me a time for during the year, a time to put another show. So I wanted to bring it to your attentions that I think since it might be very nice, we can give her a little reception, and it will be wonderful. She's such a fantastic artist, and Nora knows her so well. Please.
Well, I mean, she is, besides being an incredible artist, she's given so much to this community. She's been a teacher for the kindergarten for God knows how many generations. And she does other work. I mean, she does dolls, she does pottery, stationary pottery, she knits, she sews, she does woodwork. I mean, there's really no medium I think that she hasn't worked in, but she's extremely talented. She makes like diaries where she actually makes the covers for the books, and then they're blank, so you could sell those as well.
She's taught my kids to make
Yeah.
the books and
Yeah.
covers,
I mean,
and
she-
very talented,
Yeah.
and she certainly deserves
The
our
recognition.
attention and recognition.
Yeah.
So I know
And
Nora and I would move to
Yeah.
accept this artist for the November.
Yes, could we do that, please?
So, on behalf of Nora and myself, we move to accept Annalise Pezo as our November artist for the.
I
second.
second that.
Yeah.
Seconded.
That is this November, yes. Well, that's good.
Okay. And then for
Oh, wait, don't we have to vote on this? There's a motion pending.
motion, oh, passed, okay.
Chair Ahmad,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gupta,
Yes.
Commissioner Farren,
Yes.
Commissioner Fong, Commissioner Hall,
Present.
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Manika Beavers,
Yes.
Commissioner Noguez.
Yes.
All in favor. Thank you. Unanimous.
That's good. And for, I think we have an ad hoc on this. Azita, Arjun, and myself. So I have 2 more names from local artists, which I have to give it to you, Patty, to put it in your list so that when there is call for artists, we can send it to see if they would like to do it.
Okay, I think
Show here. And I believe Arjun has a very talented artist as well. So please let us know about her.
Her name is Ravati Natasan. She lives here in Point Tiburon. She comes from a family of very renowned Indian artists and performers from South India. She has works. Her work is kind of modern, contemporary Indian painting, but it's mixed media. She uses these techniques where she rolls clay and puts it on the canvas or on masonite and paints. So there's kind of a textural quality. She uses sand. She sort of takes traditional Indian themes in a modern and contemporary style or idiom. And she's incredibly versatile, like the Leonardo da Vinci that we just heard of. She's very versatile as well. She works in oils, she does sculpture, she does these intricate embroideries that are like mandalas. They're beautiful, beautiful works. And I think it would be a really interesting show here because it would kind of give an eye to a whole other kind of cultural tradition as well. And there are South Asians here, of course, in Tiburon as well. So, but I think it'd be really a great opportunity to also educate the residents about, you know, Indian culture and festivities and religion and that sort of thing. So she's wonderful, and she has works in permanent collections as well as in a major Hindu temple. She did a huge mural, and we could probably get a photograph of that in Chicago. She has spoken at the White House. She has she did a whole project about Mahatma Gandhi for the White House, and she's just a very, very likable, wonderful person. And again, I mean, her whole family, it's like a constellation of architects, classical Indian musicians, artists, everything. So she's a really interesting lady. Lots of stories.
Yeah, it's good. And it's
I'm salivating already. I certainly want to, you know,
I think it's
consider
nice
and
that it's
select
sort of
this
a
one.
different kind of art we would see.
Yeah.
That would be
And I
very
would
interesting.
suggest that the ad hoc committee think about a program to go along with this.
yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, even to
I'm
be
for
held
it.
down here,
Yeah.
she would draw a large crowd.
Yeah, a little like I was thinking
Oh,
pop.
yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
that to have a real.
Yeah.
nice
With her
view.
reception before
She
and
could speak.
So.
Oh, she could, she totally could, yeah.
That's
And we
wonderful.
could allow a really good reception. Extra money.
Yeah. No, I was thinking exactly that. I mean, along the lines of what we did for Joao de Brito.
Yeah, that's right.
A talk down here with the reception and having her art everywhere.
That'd be great. I think she would love
In
that.
fact,
Yeah.
if you could get a photo
Absolutely
of the
wonderful.
mural to put on the landing,
Oh, yeah.
that would be tremendous.
Yeah, that would be
It sounds like she might have enough work to fill both upper and
Both
lower.
up and down.
And I think it would be necessary if you were having a lecture down here, and it sounds like I mean, it's almost like the different festivals we've had
Mhm.
for the
Mhm.
Persian community.
Yeah,
and so
cultural
on.
thing, yeah.
I think it really would be important.
Yeah, I think a really good event could be.
So you
formed
need to
then.
find out when she's available,
nice.
so we
Yeah,
can block
well,
that
we-
time.
Did you say something?
We are gonna try and see her and her work.
We have to
Well,
go
that's
see
would be nice.
together.
When you're not next week, but week after maybe.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Great.
we will do that.
That
And
sounds exciting.
even if the opening reception is upstairs and you're busy here, we have a very large screen upstairs and she can really do.
We
a
don't
nice
anymore
talk
have a
to
large screen upstairs.
Right there.
We don't have a
Yeah.
large screen upstairs anymore.
I think it's better
This
here,
is the
in fact.
place.
It would
It's
be better
here.
here, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
See the art upstairs or something.
See the art
well, the
upstairs.
talk can be
The
here.
talk is more space.
Well, I think
Yeah.
we don't need to hash that out right now.
No, we don't. Is there a motion that we need to have or?
No, we are not done yet. I think Azita Moika.
I have some, yes, also. I went and spent a day in CBD, the the place in
The
ICB.
ICB building.
I mean,
Mhm.
yes. And I went through several studios that for the day, and I spoke to some of them that to quite a few of them, but not all of them were interested to show. So the ones that were interested, in fact, two of them are local artists that live here, and the other two are within in Marine, and their style is they are basically modern and contemporary, but they have mixed graphics and mixed media, and then they have some have also watercolor on papers, and they have acrylics on canvas, and they were interested to show. I give them your information, Patty.
Okay.
Because I thought next is that they should show their interest by getting in touch.
Absolutely.
No? So I said that you could help them, to say what they have to do later on to proceed. And the other person that was very interested and approached me was Jenny Doyle. And she's an artist from here
I
forever.
know.
And she said that she's interested. She's very cute. She says, I'm interested to show in February, but February 25, 2025. She says,
Oh, 2025.
she says, if I'm alive, I want to show. I said, yes, you'll be alive. So she asked if we could give her that time. And I think it's important we do that, for February of 2025.
January, February.
Sounds good.
No, she said February. She thinks January is, I don't know, people are still out.
Well, it's just that we do 2-month slots starting in January, but I
Is
think
January and February?
they're
I'll
2
tell
months.
her. But she was talking about February. I can comment.
Just bear in mind as you're bringing people forward, there are 4 spots upstairs left and 4 spots downstairs left. So we feeling pretty confident about this one that our Commissioner Gupta has brought forward. And now you have.
We have
people.
4, yes, 4
And-
that were very enthusiastic.
Did I hear there was?
Apart from Jenny.
One more I remember. Simin Mekade, she said that she's willing to do a show here. And as you remember, we made a lot of money.
She has
on
a
her
lot
sales.
of
She's
followers.
fantastic with sales of her work.
There's a lot
So
of
she
followers.
should
So I had
contact
to
me
kind
too.
of convince her. She said, yes, okay, I will do it. So that
Yes,
is
she had to
another
be
in the
contacted.
list. You
So-
have to add.
And Patricia Lawrence of the Marin Watercolor, can someone reach out to them because they were one of the ones that were going to show in 2019. She hasn't responded to me, and I'm just wondering if I'm not getting through to her. The email isn't right. I'm not in the art world. So can the ad hoc find out how to contact her? And
With the watercolor, you know, the library's having the next show is all watercolor. So maybe Patricia is a little busy toward that end. But
yeah, I'm just putting it out there because she hasn't.
that's an
Have her-
aside,
yeah.
but I would like to say that I'm really impressed with the proposed artists. And I would, if you need a motion, I would move that the ad hoc continue with these proposed artists.
Well, we
the
haven't
show.
seen the work and hasn't been anything
When I
presented from
said going-
Aziz yet. So I would say that it's kind of hard to.
No, I'm saying just go ahead. And the
Keep
next
moving.
step is to get in touch with you so that you can show us on for
Like
the
who we have
for the
next time.
images so that we can decide.
Then you
for
can
sure.
approve everybody or whoever's coming forward.
Another, I talked to Dave Gotts and put her in touch with Patty about November to December. He's going to
They were nice.
to hang historical photographs from landmark downstairs, and then he wants to have
He's gonna have a
a
film.
presentation in this room about the film that they have. And I said, okay, I think Patty tried to.
I've talked to him.
Yeah,
He's gonna
yeah.
get back to me with a date that he's gonna
Yeah,
come in with
he will
everything. He's
give it.
working on it right now.
Yes. So we are okay upstairs and the downstairs for this month of
Great.
November and mid-December.
And I would only bring it up because historically we have had children's art from the schools. So is that anything that you want to consider, given that we only have 4 spots in
I
each
think
place?
we should go on with that one. I know that libraries right now is doing that with the children's. So we have a smaller gallery and maybe it will be more doable. That would be very nice. Nora?
In the past, one of the things that came to a screeching halt because of COVID was Black History Month.
Yeah.
And that's done by the teacher who runs the art program at the 2 lower schools, so Bel Air and Reed School. So I don't know if you want to go there, but that would be a specific month.
I think it's March, isn't it?
February.
It's February.
Oh, so okay, yeah, it's early.
So,
It'd just be a 1 month, is it?
well, I mean, it depends on what you have available.
January, February, March, April, July, August, but that's summertime.
Right, yeah, no, it'd have to be.
Yeah. So, and then Marta Wendlinger is in there, and then it's November, December. So I would say it's January, February, it would sound like.
Okay,
And would you be the contact for that?
I could do that.
Yes, please. If you
Okay.
talk to
So
the
that
teacher.
could take a motion tonight to just go ahead and accept that if you, except you probably just need to scope it out though
I need to
first.
talk to
Yeah,
them first.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna pencil that in.
For Black History Month?
Well, that's
Mhm.
part of it. Yeah,
Perfect.
they do other projects, but that would be one
Yeah.
project
Schools.
from the schools.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You already have. enough.
because Del Mar
2
is another
years.
school. I'm not sure what they're working on.
And we probably know the library isn't doing that already. You must know what your calendar is, I assume, or not yet. Okay.
Yeah, they're working on it. They're working on it. I don't know. I don't remember calendar.
No, doing the one from ex-cons.
Mhm. Oh.
I had suggestion for them in the meeting.
So just to clarify, we were talking about, or the action item, the proposed artist outreach program. So it would appear that still continuing on personal contact type of artist outreach. Just want to make sure, okay.
Mhm.
Nothing like they're doing at the library where they do call for artists and all that kind of stuff.
No.
Okay, fine. Just wanted to verify that. Doesn't really take a motion or anything. Your ad hoc is really working on it. Sounds.
Right, but I would just, as a matter of clarification, because the action item does say and or any artist being presented at this time, I would suggest with regard to the artist that was proposed by Commissioner Gupta, that we just accept that. I mean, I can't see any
Okay.
reason why we wouldn't
Fine.
and find out
That's what I.
why, I mean, when would be the best time for her?
Mhm.
Because, you know, there is also an Indian
We'll find
community
out.
in this area. And I think that they would love an opportunity to participate in this,
Yeah,
you know, what, and you know, maybe bring in music.
I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah,
that.
would be nice.
Her daughter, who also lives in Tiburon and who is a friend of mine, is an incredible classical Indian musician
Ah,
and singer. I don't know if we could do like a
Oh,
month
wow.
thing. with
Oh,
that.
wow.
It's like when they
Yeah.
did downtown.
You're right.
That
That'd
was
be
really
fabulous.
I mean, she studied with some of the top people in South India, you know,
Yeah.
for this stuff.
but I just think it would be such a wonderful thing. So if we could get the time nailed down, I would make a motion as part of action item A13 that, and I don't know the artist's name, please.
Revati Natesan.
Okay, could you spell that, please, for the
Martina.
our newspaper and for me, please?
Okay, please speak with me before you write an article so I can tell her anything. R-E-V as in Victor, A-T-I, Revati. Last name is Natesan, N-A-T-E-S-A-N.
Thank you.
Martina.
Okay, so Nogez has made the motion, or would you like to repeat that
Yes,
now that you have the
I
name?
would move to accept Ravati Natasan as a proposed artist for some kind of phenomenal presentation of art, music, culture. And at whatever month can be explored with the ad hoc commission or committee.
We both did it.
Great. Take a roll call
Second.
vote. We have two motions, the one for Annalise. We did do the roll
We
call
did
vote,
Annalise,
excuse me,
Yes, we
that's
did
right.
that.
So let's move over to this one for Ravati Natasan. Chair Etamad,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gupta,
Yes.
Commissioner Farren,
Yes.
Commissioner Fong,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Here.
Yes.
Commissioner Mujica Beavers,
Yes.
Commissioner Noguez.
Yes.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And if that concludes that discussion on action item number 3, we'll move on to action item number 4. Public Art Fund request to the Town Council. Received draft of a request to the town to allocate an annual amount of money from the general fund reserves to the H&A Public Art Fund. And we have a staff report.
Yes, please, the staff.
Public Art Fund request to Town Council. In 2019, okay, we have to, I just want to make sure, excuse me for one moment. Fine. In 2019, the Heritage and Arts Commission created a public art program and policy. The public art policy was approved by the Town Council in November of 2019. To date, the program has no permanent fundraising structure and has raised funds for projects as follows. 1, private donations by individuals with no earmark for a certain project, held in a reserve fund named Public Art Reserve Fund. This fund currently has a balance of approximately $4,500. Number 2, private donations by individuals with an earmark for a certain project, Thomas Jackson Temporary Installation. Number 3, request to the Town Council for a specific project, Thomas Jackson Temporary Installation. To support public art in Tiburon, the Heritage and Arts Commission created an ad hoc committee to study different forms of support through the town's funding mechanisms. After meeting with the town manager and discussing various potential funding strategies, the ad hoc committee is proposing that the H&A Commission formally request that the Town Council transfer $50,000 from the general fund reserves to the existing Public Art Reserve Fund. The ad hoc committee believes this approach would provide the following benefits. By setting aside money for this purpose, the town sends the signal that it supports and values public art in Tiburon. This fund allows H&A to develop projects quickly and efficiently without having to ask for funds prior to pursuing a potential project and not having to wait for fundraising campaigns to be crafted and implemented, in parentheses, in our case, without a dedicated development professional. Additionally, by streamlining the process, this might help reinvigorate and grow past, period. Staff recommends the commission discuss points presented in this staff report and consider a motion requesting the town council transfer $50,000 from the general fund operating reserves to the public art reserve fund. And now we have commentary by Commissioner Cooper.
So two things. One, the amount of $50,000 was just a provisional amount that we had put in our discussions with the town manager. So that is open for discussion. You know, we kind of got to that amount by considering that Thomas Jackson was about between $20,000 and $25,000. And so we felt that, you know, if we had two of those type of, you know, projects, that would be about $50,000. Now, I did speak with Greg Chanis, the town manager, today. Again, and he wanted to clarify that this option is not an annual outlay of $50,000. It is a one-time transfer, so I just want to clarify that. But that it could then be over time as it's depleted, then topped back up at some point, you know, after a number of years as well. So let's say we have, you know, 2 or 3 years where we're looking at this fund as a way to kind of kickstart projects that we need, but not necessarily fund the entire project, but to kickstart it. Then, you know, maybe in 4 or 5 years, we might go back and ask for them to then again show their commitment to supporting public art programs in this town by funding another, you know, amount for the next several years and so forth.
So this is something new.
Yeah.
A microphone, please.
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, I'm delighted since 2019, and I think this is one way of following the policy that they have adopted to find funding. But if it's 50,000, this one-time deal, that means we just go back every year before the budget, or we cannot go back, or what? Are there any restrictions?
I think rather than having to go back every year, we use the fund, you know, judiciously and really consider, you know, for example, as an example, the Hunter Novak piano. There we could take $6,000 and put it towards, you know, securing that thing, that project.
Yes.
Then what happens after we spend 6,000?
Well, then we have
44,
and we continue to use that, you know, carefully and well. And then when we need more money, we go and ask for to show another commitment to public art, because that's what this is. It's both a meaningful gesture as well as you know, the town. I mean, the town and the town council changes over time, and each, you know, there will be presumably a new town council in place at some point when we need more funds to replenish that reserve fund.
You may have just said it and it might have sailed right over my head. If you have this amount of money and you're using 6,000 of it, for instance, for this first project, regardless of having the money, you have to go every time and present the proposal to the town council and identify what it's for. Did you say that and I missed it? I thought maybe you had mentioned it.
That is exactly what he actually explained.
Yeah.
Said it doesn't matter every time you have a project, you have to bring it and
Just to get their blessing.
It's the
let
same
us-
process.
Yeah, it
Just
is
wanted
same
to clarify
process, so
that.
we have to do that anyway.
I think the greatest point in this is the flexibility when you deal with artists, as we all learn. And I think this would be a great help to just help this commission to do its work for the town.
But we need to go to town council to get an okay. It hasn't been
That's
okay,
okay.
so I'm not sure about that 6,000.
No, I'm just, that was
No,
just an
that was
example.
an Example.
That was just
Oh,
an
that
example.
was an example.
But I will say that Mayor Ryan is aware of this pending proposal and that per Greg's suggestion, the ad hoc committee and anyone else who has contacts at town council, Commissioner Noguez, Farron, Fong,
Lobby.
all to pick a council member and lobby them before their December 6th meeting. So that is really the
December 6th.
and Mayor Ryan is open to putting it on the agenda, but we just want to, before we craft our letter, bringing it to their agenda, it would be a good idea to talk to some of the members of the council.
So they have some idea of what's going on, what we are trying to ask.
So my suggestion is that if any of you have any person in mind, please bring it to us, the ad hoc, and we can, make sure that all our bases are covered and all our members are
We're
covered.
all in the
One of the
same-
points that I think might be strong with the town council too, and I thought it was in the original one, maybe you've done, is that it's so encouraging to donors to see the town council behind it. So that might be a good line to put in the draft,
Absolutely.
that it's really encouraging when they see that, then they step forward faster.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do we need to vote that we support it?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
The motion, yeah, Greg actually put that motion in there the way it is to use that. I felt that and add anything that you think is.
Can I just say two things? One is, three things actually. I agree, and I've said this before, that once we as a commission establish ourselves by the quality of the work that we bring forward, it makes it not only easier for the town to say, yes, this is a good investment, we believe in what you do, we want to support it, but it also gives us sort of street credibility out there for other funders to say, yes, we've seen what you've done, we want to support your public art program. And it doesn't preclude us from talking to our neighbors, because town council are elected. So if there are people from the community, they're saying, we've heard that this is in the pipeline, we really like it. I was actually at a dinner last night with somebody who had heard about it. Yeah. So if you can get the word out to people and get those letters written to the town council, say, we've heard that this is a possibility, we'd like to see it in our town, all the better. But
Helps a lot.
yeah, all the better. But it does not preclude us from also looking at other funding sources, because, for instance, the Dairy Mural was not funded for the most part by the town. There was a town commitment, but it was other grants. So we should also always look at those. And especially when you've got something, for instance, like the cultural perspective, people will come out of the woodwork.
Yeah,
To say, I want to be part of this.
that's correct. That's right.
Very good point. Thank you, Nora.
And are we comfortable with that amount?
Yes.
Yes, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to.
Yes.
Yes.
Is
For the
somebody
first
can
start.
do the motion, please?
Microphone, please.
Sorry. That we make a request to the Tiburon Town Council to transfer $50,000 from the general fund operating reserves to the public art reserve fund.
I second it.
Roll call vote. Chair Etmod,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gupta,
Yes.
Commissioner Farron,
Yes.
Commissioner Fong,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner Mujica Beavers.
Yes.
Commissioner Noguez.
Yes.
All in favor, aye. Thank you. And now we move to the discussion items. The discussion item number 1, Miwok statute proposal, is being postponed until Chair Ahmad, would you like to postpone it to the next meeting? We did not get a
Yes,
report
please.
from the public art selection panel. That has been delayed, so that is the reason. And they are aware of that, the people presenting the proposal, and they're happy to wait. So we will move that to the November meeting.
Okay.
And move on to discussion item number 2, artwork in Town Hall Civic Plaza / Zelensky Park. Received report from the ad hoc committee to research viable locations within the newly created plaza and Zelensky Park.
Yes, we, the ad hoc was Victoria Fong and Nora Noguez and myself. We spent some time walking around and talking. So we have come up with possible 3 places that it could be nice to put public art. One of them, may I say one of them? One of them is we agreed that we could have an art bench by our entrance to town hall, because the town hall is somewhere it's very well respected, and these art benches are really beautifully done by artists, and sometimes with materials that they have been thrown out. Now they're looking beautiful and colorful, and so that is one. The second one was, there is a fence right at the end of this green part of Zelensky Park. That fence, actually, Nora remembered that one of the past members, Sandra, had suggested putting colored ribbons all along it, which we thought that would be really excellent. And behind it, there was equipment with the orange and red part of it. When we were looking at it from the Tiburon Boulevard, through that tunnel of vision between the 2 buildings, it was really showing very nicely there. So we could work on a piece of art behind that fence, but visible from the Tiburon Boulevard.
Did you take a photo?
So, pardon me?
No,
No.
we didn't.
So would
But
you like
it's-
to?
Yeah. So what I wanted to say is that what we discussed was the idea of what they do in Yountville, which is their designated like platforms where you have rotating
artwork,
but not permanent,
not
temporary art. And
showcase.
so we could
Talk about
possibly
that.
have platforms prepared so that they would be there, and we would have people when we don't have to
Yeah,
have
it'd be
the mechanism for selecting the art we don't have to talk about right now, but that would be a place that we could have art.
Yeah, it's
Well,
very general idea that we'd
Right.
like to just bring people onto looking at the beautiful background, which is the green space, but having something fun or, worthwhile art. So
At this point, we need to suggest these areas and what we are thinking, and try to approach public selection group, which there are only 3 of them there for now. So we're in next meetings, we have to discuss how we can get more members to be more interested to help. So if they go out there and bring a proposal of some artists which would be good for these suggested areas, it would be really excellent, and we can take it from there.
yes, and
So
to your credit, Chair Adamad, I think this would reinvigorate the growth of the PASP too. So
I wanted to say that I did a walk around with the town manager, Greg Janis, and he did give me a map.
that was the map that I've seen many years ago. Richard Rosen, at that time, the artist laureate, we went through that. That's precisely it.
Right.
And we have that one corner that they are haven't quite decided what to do
Okay,
then.
so,
Show the boundary of the town things.
yeah,
Mhm.
That's important.
yeah. So perhaps at some point we could.
Maybe you could make a copy and maybe could send it through
Yeah.
email.
Or photograph.
Yeah,
Mhm.
take
Yeah.
a photograph.
Yes, I would
of
like
it
to
and
see
the
that.
attachment.
And maybe as
I
part
may
of a
have
meeting
seen it.
one day, maybe we could,
Can
Uh,
I take a look at it
yes,
now,
yeah.
please?
that maybe we could
It was all.
call the meeting to order, and then if
Yeah.
there's enough light, or we come early, go outside and walk it.
It'll have to start early if it's this winter.
But we're not
Yeah,
doing
or-
anything on that green part anyway.
Right,
so
no, but if we could just get here early and walk
Yeah.
it would be a good idea.
Maybe next.
Daylight saving.
Or,
Yeah.
or.
Oh, that would be
Might I,
hard.
might
May
I,
I,
okay.
may I have
let-
a word,
Wait,
please?
wait, just one moment for this walking idea. I think it would be a better idea that you just plan a field trip during the day to take the walk. The only problem with that is you can't really talk about it. So if you want to match it up with a meeting though in the winter, you'll need to start early.
Early, yeah, that's fine, because we
4
cannot discuss it
4
because of the
o'clock.
brownout.
Right, that's true.
Savannah.
I can get the actual good copy and send it to everyone. Copying that again, I'll get it from Greg.
Okay.
It's probably digitized already, so.
Yeah, it's very important that we know exactly what we own. Town of Tiburon owns on this land, so we can be
So you can
more
talk to the library when
precise.
you need to, right?
You see, the library is doing their own thing. They don't like
Yeah,
to
that would be
cooperate with
from-
us.
Yeah,
No, from the
yeah, the
beginning.
last time was that they didn't know exactly where it was and there were changes to the
Yes,
actual
from the
building.
beginning,
so-
they said we do that, whatever is around library, we
Mhm.
do it. I mean, they called and they said,
That's okay.
don't
We'll,
get in.
we'll do whatever we are
This
here.
area is
Nora?
The library. Yeah.
Yeah.
This area is.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's
Okay.
The
some
green
slight,
On the left of the
Outside the
green is
green.
the library. We're on the right of the green.
Really. Figure out exactly where
And
it
we're
is.
right.
no, it's well,
From the beginning. I mean, Brenda
Is this
called and
map?
said.
No,
that
this was,
yeah.
2 years
It
ago.
is new?
no, it's,
No,
it's,
she said.
it's a
library
different,
and
yeah.
Around library.
It's a little
Don't
different
get
in the small one,
the commission.
but it's not
Heritage
that
Commission
new,
should have
the
done
actual
it.
drawings.
It's the committee of library. Brenda called us.
Talk to Greg.
So,
Just walk outside, exactly where it is.
yeah, we
I think
could
we
do
should
that.
do
We'll
that.
do a walking tour, yeah.
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 Yeah, so I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Set that now and for the next meeting.
Well, I would suggest that, I mean, would you
We-
wait till the spring? You won't know what the weather is. You can try for November 28. It's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
It's much-
or wait till the spring. I don't know.
I think so. I think.
I mean-
Well, we'll find another
I
time
think we
and
should
go
wait
through
until
you
this-
to send it out. I think it might be good also to have this map so people could think about it.
Right, first
and
thing,
also
get
send
that
out
map out.
to PASP to see, and then
Mhm.
maybe they want to
Mhm.
join us on the walking tour.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised
PASP
that
would be
now you
good.
look
Yeah.
at 2 years ago, they made clear.
Yep.
Anywhere around the library, the commission should have nothing to do with. That it's all the committee,
Yes.
committee of the
That
library.
is what we want to create.
Yeah.
Us, a few of us can walk exactly to see.
And we
where
could
it
ask
is
Greg too,
belongs to
so.
Tiburon
It's
County.
more than 2 years ago, 4 years, 5 years
Yeah.
ago.
We have to
Pretty.
make sure about that.
So for that purpose, can I suggest, I know it's not on the agenda, can I suggest this item be put on the next agenda along with evaluating the viability of PASP with
Absolutely.
updating the,
Updated,
for
very
the
good
next
idea.
agenda.
Good.
Would that be okay, Patty?
Of course,
Please.
anyone can
Thank you.
propose. Mhm. Okay, if
Now
this
we go
is
to-
any more comment on this discussion item? We will move on to the calendar dates. So our next regular meeting is November 28, the Tuesday following Thanksgiving holiday. Does that work for everyone?
Yes,
No, not for me.
Okay,
I'm not here.
you'll be in India.
When will you be back?
December 4th.
so we don't normally have a meeting in December because everyone's so busy. Would you want to move it to the following week so everyone could be there and kind of, it is early December, but. Right, but Commissioner Mika Beavers is saying she's not here either on November 28th.
No, 28th, I'm coming back from. You know,
Okay.
the week of.
So does anyone want to consider the following week so everyone's here, or just go ahead with the 4 members we would have?
Okay,
5 with
early
Fran.
December should be fine, but I don't.
I'm okay with early December. I don't know about other people.
It would be the 4th or 5th.
Right.
Because there are
That's
meetings
good.
otherwise.
Because I'm.
You're coming back on the 4th.
That's good.
Jet lag.
So everyone would be able to do December 5th?
December 5th.
Yes, I can do it also.
I'm not.
December 6th.
5th or 6th?
No, we cannot do the 6th,
Has to be the
the
5th.
4th or 5th.
That's Monday or Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 5th.
And I'm going to have to make sure about the 5th, the 4th and 5th, but definitely not the 6th or 7th. So that's out. So the room's being used. So,
That'd be good. That's right.
okay, so I'll have to find out about the 4th or 5th.
It's good because also it's we won't have a.
Yeah, you want to
December,
get it done before well, that's a little bit of a problem because you're presenting on the 6th and everything's going to have to be done the week before. So that does present, yeah. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to stick with the 28th.
Still, I'm gonna miss the meeting, but there's still plenty of time for any last minute provisions on that letter that the.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be available at all? I mean, no, I just mean by email, like if there are things to add to the proposal or anything.
I mean,
That's too hard.
after the 20, I'm
Not saying you have to.
I probably won't be because
Okay.
I'm going to some remote parts of India as well.
This is the wedding. Oh,
So,
forget it.
yeah.
No, I didn't
Like
realize
elephant
that.
safari.
I forgot that's what we were talking.
Going on to Himalaya is going up.
We want a picture of the elephant.
So the commission meeting is not on the 5th.
Pardon me?
We can
Yeah,
keep
you're
it
not
December 3rd or
Okay, the other
December 6th. It was another option.
No, she says you
When
can't.
we have to go to town council.
Town
She says
council
you
is, oh
can't
my
do it.
God.
When would we
Okay,
have
the
that?
other option, folks, excuse me, let's just. Okay, the other option, if we want to get the entire group and get this done and out of the way, is to have it before Thanksgiving week. The 13th or 14th, which is 3 weeks from now.
Yeah,
No one wants to do it Thanksgiving week because I believe people go away early.
yeah.
So is there any feeling about having it
On the 13th.
the week before Thanksgiving and wrapping it up?
Can do it on the 14th. I can do it on the 14th. I don't know.
The 13th?
13 is a Friday.
No, the 13th of November is a Monday.
Really?
You're looking at the wrong month, I think. So 13 is Monday, 14 is Tuesday.
I may not be here, but that's okay because I'm only one person.
November
You're
14th.
a critical reader.
The thing is, I'm having oral surgery on the 10th.
Well,
Oops.
You can't talk.
You'll be fine.
but you
by
could,
the
but you
13th.
could type,
God
so you
sake.
could see that document and make comments ahead of time.
With my cheeks. I'll
You
tell
will be fine.
You can email your thoughts. Anyway,
I think you'll be fine by then.
Yeah, you can always email me.
4 days later, oral surgery, you'll be.
Okay, you have a good carryover.
so just giving that option about that date of 13 or 14, does anyone want to consider that?
14?
I could do 13th or 14th.
Okay, and how's everyone else?
I'm on call that day.
Both days, 13 and 14?
That week. I'm on
For
call.
jury
Okay.
duty?
No, just on
Oh,
call
so-
for the.
So you can't, or you may be able
yeah.
to.
If there's any emergency weather situations. I'm
Otherwise, you'd be okay. Okay.
activated.
Well, it looks like it's, everybody is
Yeah.
having trouble at those dates. So
Not
you
that
go ahead
everybody
and
could be
people
there.
make your call and we'll.
I keep quiet. I will try to make it all. I'm not planning on any trips.
Okay, good.
I'm okay either 14 or 28.
How about 13?
That's a Monday.
Now, is that a December? We're talking about December, right?
November.
Oh,
We're
no,
in early
we are still in November. Oh,
We're
God.
trying to prepare.
Okay.
I honestly think that.
What is it, November what?
Get it to you well in advance, and on the 28th, you stick with a regular meeting.
We're okay.
Okay.
What date?
All right.
November is it?
There may be some.
What is the date?
They are
That
thinking
everybody be
that we don't know.
Yeah.
That's very
Okay.
important. Yes.
Great.
So we don't change it.
time for
November.
to go to Greg.
Right.
For 6, yeah.
So that there's.
Yeah,
not
let's
going
do
to
that.
Yeah,
be
because we're
changed,
just
no?
up against it right there because by the end of that week, he has to be done.
I know.
Okay.
So we
won't
will be
change it.
missing Mojica Beavers and.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. All right, and you're not on call that week of the 20?
I'm not sure, but
Okay.
we would have Fran still. So.
Then it's essential that we.
There would be a force, yeah.
On the 28th.
And I'm here
Before-
until the 21st. I'm here until the 21st.
All right, so we can work
Well,
on
that's
that
good.
week. Okay.
We just have to vote on.
All right, and we don't have to vote on calendar dates. Oh, you mean vote on at the meeting? Is that what you're trying to pick?
Yeah, we know.
December 26th is
The same.
canceled because that is the Christmas
We are
holiday week.
keeping this.
So we're not having a meeting in
We
December.
are keeping November 28th.
And the next meeting would
December
be
is
all,
canceled
excuse me,
and January-
Commissioner Mojica Beavers.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh,
Please.
December.
Sorry.
The next meeting is January 23rd. And I was discussing with Chair Etemad that if you have a meeting on the 28th of November and you're jumping December, would you want to move the meeting up in January? The only caveat about that is, as Commissioner Farron has pointed out before, regular meetings are expected to be when they're set. So as long as there's nothing urgent, you could decide that in November if something becomes urgent. So I would leave it as January 23. And we have 2 Landmarks concerts, the last of the year, November 19 and December 10. For those of you who are interested in supporting those. The one on December 10 is the Musée, and they are fabulous. All women's chorus, always a sellout.
I have tickets.
Okay, then this
November
is
19 actually is really marvelous too. That is a guitarist. He's renowned.
So can we adjourn now? Please.
We can adjourn the Heritage and Arts meeting at 6:53 p.m. on October 30. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
When do we have to move our clocks? The 5th.
Daylight savings. Next week, right?
Bring forward all that.